Welcome back to the Nash Potatoes Outdoor Show. Today, I'm at Everglades National Park in southern Florida. I spent 2 days there doing all kinds of cool stuff, and I can't wait to show you what I did. Here's the agenda for the video. First up, I want to show you this airboat tour that I went on. There's a website right there if you're interested. It was $34 for adults if you had a National Park Pass. So this has been a bucket list item for me for quite a while, so I was pretty excited to get out here. And if you know Florida, the weather can be very hit or miss, and I happened to stumble upon it when the sun was shining. So I'm going to let you enjoy this footage, and I'll check back in with you in just a second. So about 2/3 of the way through the airboat tour, the operator does stop the boat and turn it off. He kind of explains a few things to you about the Everglades, and he allows you to take photos and video, and it was a pretty cool time. They are kind of working for tips, so the service actually was quite good.
They're very unique. They require very little to no water at all to function. So it makes them the perfect type of vessel.
All right, next up, I'm going to head down to the Flamingo Visitor Center. It's right at the southern tip of Florida, but the only way to get there is you actually have to go into the Ernest Co. Visitor Center, right there, and then you got to take this road down, which is about 38 miles. It's like a 50-mile-an-hour road, so it does take, a bit of time to get down there, 45 minutes to an hour, but it's something I wanted to do for a long time. Here's the Flamingo Visitor Center. They were damaged by one of the hurricanes, and they are currently rebuilding it, but it is something to see. I thought it was pretty neat. Down here is the marina store, where you can launch boats. There were some manatees down here. You could rent boats, go on some boat tours and stuff like that, which I did not do. But I did see some manatees. You got to check this out. I've never seen manatees before. Their water was kind of disgusting, but they're pretty cool little creatures. Okay, so I visited the park in July, and the mosquitoes were quite bad. I guess it's to be expected, but I have never experienced anything like this before. If you got in where the grass was at, or the trees were at, or in a shaded area, they were just completely overwhelming, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But this is worked my way a little bit more towards the southern tip of Florida. This is really close to the Flamingo Visitor Center along the coastline. I wanted to grab some footage of this. Pretty cool sight right here. And then right next to this area is a little hiking trail. And I did spot this cute little bird that was just chilling. Looks like he's breathing heavy. I love birds. They're so unique and cute. Okay, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to go hiking along the coastal Prairie Trail. So I stopped in at this eco pond area right here. And as soon as I got out of my car, the mosquitoes swarmed me like something I have never witnessed before in my life. Jumped right back into my car and continued driving down the road. I figured hiking was kind of off the table. But there's lots of waterways. If you ever visit, I would definitely schedule some type of kayaking trip. You're going to want to go fully clothed with mosquito nets and stuff like that, but these waterways would be so cool to get out in on a kayak. This was actually on one of the bridges as I was driving back towards the Ernest Coe Visitor Center. So this is Mrazek Pond, and there were quite a few ponds along the way, and also places that you could put kayaks in if you wanted to do some hardcore kayaking. All right, this is the West Lake Trail. Surprisingly enough, the mosquitoes were not bad through here. One other thing that you might experience is those black flies that bounce off the top of your head. They tend to drive me nuts. They weren't so bad through here either, but just be aware that you might want to wear a hat so they're less bothersome. But this was really pretty through here, and to my surprise, as I got out to the lake, it was like a huge lake, actually. You'll see here in a second. Yeah, so this is West Lake. I'm not sure if they allow motorized boats through here or not. With the manatees being around, I'm not sure that they would, but kayaking, as I mentioned, is a big sport in this area. All right, this is the 9 Mile Pond Canoe Trail. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure it is exactly what it sounds like. You could canoe around the lake. This is pretty neat, just 4 feet above sea level. You don't see that every day. I've been spending some time in Colorado and Montana and Utah, so to see that was something else. All right, so this is the Long Pine Key area, right over by the campground and the nature trail. This was really beautiful. And then I made my way over, getting closer to the Ernest Coe Visitor Center now. This is the Royal Palm Information Center. It was closed. It looked like they were doing some renovations. I'm not sure if that got hit by a hurricane or not. And right there, I spotted this alligator. This was probably the 3rd alligator I saw on my trip, but it was the first one I was able to get good footage of. And he's got this fat little face. I'm not sure if it's full of fish or what. I used to have a hamster that would load up his gullet like that, so I'm not sure what's going on, but that was pretty neat to see. He was just a few feet away from me. And then at this area, this was probably one of the prettiest areas of the park, the Royal Palm area. They have all these hiking areas that you could hike on boardwalks. And again, the mosquitoes were not bad through this area. I'm not sure how that fluctuates from season to season, but the only place I really experienced the really bad mosquitoes was down by that eco pond. Yeah, this is really cool through here, so I'm going to take some time and record a bit of footage, and I'll let you enjoy it, and I'll check back in just a second. All right, now I'm wrapping up this section of the park here. And we are going to move on to a completely different area of Everglades National Park. It is called the Shark Valley Visitor Center. I want to show you where it's at. It's going to be up on the northern section, right there. It was on, it was over by where the Airboat Tour was at. And so what I did is I rented a tram. I didn't know how bad the mosquitoes were going to be. So it was $28 for adults. There's a website there if you're interested. It was 11-mile route. And this is kind of what it looked like. I kind of thought it was going to be muddy and dense forest and full of mosquitoes and alligators, which is why I took the tram. But what I quickly realized is that it was really hard to get any good video footage from the tram. So I've got a bird shot coming up here, and as you can see, it's just hard to get a quality video when that tram is moving and starting and stopping, and there's people on the left side of me, so I couldn't record anything to the left. And I was just so disappointed that halfway through the tour, they stop so you can get off and check out this observation tower right here. And I actually just told the operator that I was going to walk back. I think it was 11 miles, so I figured I could handle 5.5 miles walking. And this is the view from the top of the observation tower. The storm was coming in. I should have been better aware of the weather because I ended up getting rained on. That'll be a fairly funny video clip here towards the end. All right, so now I'm on foot because there were quite a few birds I wanted to get video of, and it was just impossible from that tram. All right, so this is called an eastern lubber grasshopper. Apparently in southern Florida, they're in very large numbers and they're quite destructive, but they're so beautiful. Got to zoom in on a flower shot here. I've got to be honest about this section of the Everglades National Park. Was quite unimpressive to me. I thought it was very bland. I'm glad I visited because I always have wanted to visit the Everglades, but there just wasn't a lot to see, in my opinion. So here I spotted a bird, and I wanted to sneak up on him. I was convinced that he was going to do something cool, either grab some fish out of the creek there or fly away. But no, he just sat there and let me record him. But I ended up getting a really good shot of him here in just a second. You'll see. See, he looks like he wants to do something. He wants to fly away or he wants to catch fish, but now he just wants to check me out. Such a beautiful bird. Got caught in the rain, 1.5 miles away from my car. Not good. All right, before I go, I did want to mention there are 2 campgrounds at Everglades National Park. The website is down there if you want to make reservations. Long Pine Key is open November 1st through April 30th. And the Flamingo campground down to the south there is open year-round, just a little bit west of the visitor center. As I said, the mosquitoes are quite bad down there, so I'm not sure if I would brave that or not. But that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching the Nash Potatoes Outdoor Show. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will see you next time.